I've been doing these devotions for a number of years now, and I think this next passage for today is probably one of the passages I've shared about the most, and that's Acts chapter 10, verses 34 to 43. And I thought about not using it, but it speaks so clearly to the idea of God showing no partiality that I just had to use it again. But it is Luke sharing Peter's summary of the gospel, and it's just so concise and it's so beautiful. It's just such a great description in 10 verses of from the baptism of John to Jesus being the judge of all. It just sums up the gospel so beautifully. And he begins, and again, this is in the home of Cornelius, the centurion. Peter began to speak to them. I truly understand that God shows no partiality, but in every nation, anyone who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to God. And, sometimes people make religion and spirituality and Christianity, we can make it out to be really complicated and difficult, and we can get into splitting fine hairs of theology about different doctrines. But when Peter's starting to talk about it to people who have never heard the gospel before, he begins simply by saying, God shows no partiality, but in every nation, doesn't matter where someone's from, doesn't matter where they're born, anyone who fears God, so you have to believe in God, to fear God, to hold God in reverence and awe, and does what is right, is acceptable to God. And now he goes on, of course, to talk about the message of Jesus. But, our faith starts with just holding God on reverence and doing what is right. I mean, in any given situation, we want to do the right thing. And we know overall from the message of the Bible and the message that Peter goes on to share about Jesus, when Peter describes Jesus in verse 38, he says how he went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for God was with him. This twofold emphasis on doing what is right and Jesus going about doing good makes it really simple and clear and plain. That's what we're supposed to be doing as Christians every day. Just go about and do good. Be good. In any situation you find yourself in, and you're debating, well, what should I do? Well, just ask yourself, what is the good and right thing to do in this situation? What should I say? What should I do? How should I act? What would God want me to do? It'd spare humanity a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache if we could just strive to do the right thing at every moment of every day.